A viewer wants to know, can I use a similar trademark as one that's already registered? I'm going to answer that in the next 4 minutes. I'm Angela Langlotz, trademark and copyright attorney. Smash the like button and share this with someone that you think might find it useful. So I'm answering a viewer question today from my YouTube channel. The questioner asked, "Hi, I'm really glad I came across your channel. I have a question. If someone trademarks," I think he means registers, so we're going to go with register. If someone registers the phrase Red Star Electronics, can you then use Red Star as part of your product if Red Star by itself isn't registered? Well, that's a good question, and it comes up a lot. There are a lot of misconceptions about how close you can get to someone else's registered trademark or common law trademark. So here's the rule. The rule is, if it would be confusingly similar to a consumer, then that mark, we'll call them the junior mark and the senior mark. So if the junior mark is confusingly similar to the senior mark, it is considered a trademark infringement. So how do we decide what is confusingly similar? Well, there are a whole bunch of factors involved in that. But one of the things that we look at is the similarity of the marks and the similarity of the goods and services. So here, the mark Red Star Electronics would be the senior mark, and Red Star by itself would be the proposed junior mark. Now, since they both start out with the rather distinctive term Red Star, we would say that these are essentially the same mark. Even though Red Star has the descriptive term electronics on the end, that doesn't really distinguish Red Star and Red Star Electronics. A consumer would likely look at those marks and think that they were from the same company, or that the goods that had the trademark on it came from the same company. Now let's talk about the goods, because it matters if the goods are related or exactly the same. That is a relevant inquiry. So let's say that there was a trademark for Red Star Electronics and also a trademark for Red Star for baking yeast. There's actually a Red Star baking yeast. So consumers don't relate in the marketplace electronics and baking yeast, okay? We don't see them offered by the same company. I can't think of any company that would offer electronic goods and yeast for baking bread, okay? And you wouldn't encounter those two types of goods in the same store or on the same aisle in the same store. They're not related in any fashion. So we would say, when confronted with those two marks as the consumer, we wouldn't think to ourselves, gee, I wonder if the same people who are making Red Star Electronics items are now making yeast for baking purposes. We would never in a million years think that the same company made both kinds of goods. So in that situation, those trademarks would not be in conflict, and the junior mark would likely be allowed to register. Now, if, for example, the junior mark was for, let's say, Red Star Electronics had a trademark that covered computers, okay? I'm just making stuff up. And there was another company that wanted to register a trademark for Red Star for televisions. Now, those two things would be related. Why? Because there are a lot of companies out there that make computers and also televisions. Toshiba, for example, makes televisions and they also make computers. LG, I think, makes televisions and they may make some computers as well. So if the goods are related, and I think we all agree that televisions and computers are related because we're used to seeing those sorts of goods come from the same manufacturer, that a consumer would be confused when confronted with both of those brands. So therefore, the junior mark would be considered an infringement. So I hope this helps clear up the confusion about, in general, how close you can get to other people's trademarks. There's a whole bunch of other factors that go into it, but that's the basic rule. Would it confuse a consumer? If so, then it's likely to be an infringement. I'm Angela Langlotz. Again, share this video if you think other people might find it useful. Smash the like button and subscribe. You can ask me any questions in the comments below and I'll answer them on a future live. If you need to find me, you can do so. I'm on Facebook at facebook.com/TrademarkDoctor, or on YouTube, just go search Trademark Doctor, and I'm online at TrademarkDoctor.net.